Hello and welcome to Digipal Plays. So today I will be, at least I am assuming I should be able to do it today, finishing up on Dead Hook VR. I was planning on doing it last time, but unfortunately some runs didn't go too well, didn't get the materials I needed. So yeah, but I also think I found out like something is kind of busted in this game. We're just gonna have to see about that. So if I get the right collectibles and such, upgrades, I should be able to beat this game within like half an hour or something. And then I can give my thoughts and stuff about it. Hello? There we go. A little bit better. I don't know why it's problematic with that time. But I have gone in and grinded a little bit, getting some more materials, now with more health. My weapons are upgraded a little bit. I tried to upgrade a little bit more in my armor, but I think I ran out of materials. I also upgraded a little bit on my Reaper blades. Have an extra pocket, so now I can have 3 weapons instead of only 2. I also have a chance to repel enemy armor, so we'll just have to see. I also wanted to try and make this one, but I still haven't found dark matter, and I don't know if I can only get that by defeating the boss. So we'll just have to see what happens. But if I don't succeed in this run, I'll do it on easy. Because honestly, I kind of want this game to be over with already. Alright. Let's get started. The first one is easy. Over there. None of that I wanted. Great. Let's go with this one to increase my chances of survival. Yeah, let's go for Infernals. Get a new weapon. Ah, well, let's go and upgrade. I'll take it. Part of the dead, that's where there is only one that's invulnerable. Let's do it. snack. Healer of the Dead, that's where everyone is invulnerable except for one guy. I did not like that one, so let's go with the weapon instead. Arsonist. Oh yeah. Wait, actually. Oh, I see. Let's go with this for now. I guess we'll do this one. Then he teleported. I'm getting nothing of that which I want. I guess. This is the sanctuary. Let's hope I'm a little bit lucky here. Yes, yes, yes. Because arsonists, I have come to realize that they seem kind of broken. There we go. So having some is pretty nice. Or at least they can become pretty broken. The air. But it also depends on if you get something that actually fits for those guns. Which right now I'm getting for nothing of them. Critical mass. That's gonna help a little. I don't have enough to upgrade. Unless if I get this. Cash out. Then I can upgrade the green one. Jeez, red, I can't see. I'm guessing this is the green one. I can't see because of the colors. Oh, right, no, it is that one that's green. What the heck? They both look green. I guess it's because of the shade that's messed up around here. Alright, let's see. Healer of the deck. I hate that a lot. But I really need some more upgrades. I need to do it. These people won't be too hard to find. Where did he go? At least now I know it's green. It's so annoying when you finally find, you know, iron on it, sometimes it takes years. Alright, now you're all dead. You know we're supposed to stare, right? One more. Finally, boiled alive. There we go. Boiled alive. Damaged by 100%. Endless waves. Exploding module, when you take damage, you take no damage cooldown. I already have those. So I guess I get to it twice at once. Sure, let's do this one. We get flying. Where the heck are all of the monsters now? Healing injector, I don't need that. Alright, let's see, what do we have here? For earthly weapons, increases DPS by 50%. That would do nicely. So then again, that's more specific. These bullets slash by 20, DPS by 50. It's half compared to this, but I don't lose damage. It's the same thing over here. Seriously? Oh wait. Return the bullets to the magazine with a 20% chance. A chance of 20%. That would be pretty good for these. So let's do that. I don't have any other choice. The extra FPS fire rate will do very well. Oh well. Maybe you can get another green one for me. Oh, I did get a green one. Nice. Let's see, what's the... Alright, it has a higher magazine. Oh, that's only because I upgraded that one, right. Any money containers around? Doesn't look like it. So it's the same place now. Have to do it slow, else it won't register. Oh, disperser. Reduces bullet size by 50, but... Oh, reduces damage by 50. That's fine, I have that upgrade. That would do very well right now. The 100%. Holy. Giving me some really good stuff right now. Sniper distance. That would do well against the boss. Alright, let's do this. Actually, I should do it like this. Wait, what upgrade did it get? Rate of fire. It already has great rate of fire, didn't need any more. Oh well. Cut down pretty much like butter compared to how it's been before with me playing this game. Dude, do you mind? Hello? Would you kindly allow me to heal? Well, I can take this and sell it. And choose step. Well, let's go for the endless waves. What happened to my gun? Oh, over there, right? No, that's the healing circle. Oh, of course, someone helped me. Seeker. Well, I can't use these, but they have a shotgun. So I'll just go the Amplification Seeker. Alright, let's take a gamble. Although I think I might be losing this one. Nope. And mind you, all I've been upgrading since last time was my health. And a high chance of loot, I think. As a whole. That's pretty much the only things I've upgraded. I haven't upgraded any damage, as far as I can recollect. This is what we can do, that's broken. And I actually managed to beat one of these, finally. Nothing but grenade launchers. I got a little bit of face armor. Reward for dexterity, might as well. What the heck happened to him? Oh, there. That's a syringe. I don't need that. Higher stake. That's where I take. Increases my max health, but also doubles all damage I take. Sure, we're really pumping. Let's give it this one. Hopefully get a purple these guys. I'll need to look for my gun before it drops completely. That's an injection. That's an injection. That's where my gun is. Nope, that's also healing it there. Jeez. Also doing the gesture. Let's go for the last guy. That's not the same as my gun. Hopefully I can have some time to just find my freaking gun. There you are. No, not this again! Now it just threw me out. Thank you so much, game. Now I just lost a very valuable gun and I didn't even get my reward. Thank you. Now, this has happened a couple of times just because you touched the bottom of the stage. More health. Please give me an arson. Thank you. Can get rid of you. Then I can upgrade this one. What the heck? Ooh, high crit damage. That's pretty good. And I can upgrade that the second time. Oh, double upgrade and crit damage. Holy! That's gonna be insane. I can't use these for anything, as I need earth weapons. I don't have rocket launchers, grenade launchers. Well, I can also roll for this one real quick. See if I can get something for the plasma guns. Plasma SMGs. Yeah, nuclear potential. No. And that's for the standard SMGs. Oh, influx. Oh, after executing an enemy, increases damage by 200% in 6 seconds. Not gonna help with the boss, but gonna help a lot with the next area. On the way up there. But let's take it this wave. Hello, would you allow me forward first, please? nothing from my SMG. So let's just go with reduced trap damage. Well, I'm not gonna get enough money out of this. Depends on if there are any other boxes I can destroy so I can get some quick coins. But let's go. Yeah. So I won't get anything out of doing that. I'm not sure how I teleported that, but okay. Feels like I killed him. For you. Seriously? Would you stop with slow motion already? This isn't really gonna help much. Oh, right. The question is if it has the same upgrade. Like fire or whatever it's the icon in the top left corner is all about. But it's less power, so I guess it's not upgraded in any way. Let's go for the elite. Coward. on out. Well, this one will give us more money. We might sell it. So let's go with that one. Gamble. Sure, let's do one. On 1,000. Here, would you? Sometimes I don't even know if the enemies are dead or not, but how fast they're killing. Sometimes the whole slow motion thing just goes a little bit too insane. What's going on? Oh, I didn't know I could see it like that. Though, fight hits very badly. Shown. Death from above. When you're swinging on a hook, increases damage by 150. Golden Sniper increases critical damage by 40. Yeah, let's go with this one. I think that's better. Let's go with the next upgrade before we meet the boss. Because afterwards, it's the board shot. I think this is the fastest one I've ever done. And most successful. I don't think I've lost one. Or it's having a debuff or anything like that. enough health.
91DK got yours asterisk asterisk asterisk.
Where the heck are you? There you are. You're holding an every weapon. Extra movement speed. This will go with that. Hey. Arsonist. Well, let's see if I can. I haven't actually seen a legendary yet. Maybe I can be lucky getting that, or I need to go higher up in upgrades. Oh, I get one for $50. Back, so whatever. Anything else that can benefit me? Exploding head. That's not gonna help. Double barrel. One more bullet per shot, but reduces damage by 30. That's like, so that means I get 5 shots. 30 damage per bullet. Reduced per bullet. Unless it means just 30 damage less overall. But it's still 30. It's the damage per bullet. Of what I understand, at least. Last try. Skull collector. Now I get this. Sweet, more crit damage. Second time. More, oh, base damage. Nice. That's very highly upgraded. Alright, let's quickly see these. Oh, that would do very well. That's only on flying enemies that works. That's not gonna help. Okay, what was the price again? 200. Somewhat. Hello? Beat me up. Oh, don't see the upgrade yet, for some reason. What the? Why are there two? Oh, there we go. Now I can see it. Alright. Let's take down Shogord. I don't know what it is, but fire is currently a huge weakness to this guy. lever. I pulled the lever, what the heck? Oh. There we go. So apparently you just need to shoot fire on that guy himself.
Oh God, what have I done? Forgive me, Adam. Shogor has subjugated my will. This creature infiltrated my mind and controlled me like a puppet. Just like the ancients, whom he forced to find the purple crystal and bring in bloody sacrifices. I looked into the mind of this creature when the miner from Courtcaster stole the Stone of Immortality. Shogor heard the call of his offspring. He escaped from the world of the dead to protect the stone. Shogor destroyed the energy barrier around the city, tracked the miner and the power plant's engine ring, and consumed him along with the stone. You know, Adam, I'm so tired. I don't want you to bring me back like this. I no longer know where I end and Raven begins. I want to be myself again. Raven said that there's a chance that my personality will recover after a hard reset of the AI. Let's try.
Ship systems reboot complete. Original firmware version of Raven restored. Hello, Adam. I have opened the energy gate. Return to the ship. There's nothing more to do with Courtcaster. The Infernals will soon revive. You need to recuperate.
So what? She just granted the clasp now.
You have received a shard of the Stone of Immortality. Now, if you die, you can use it to resurrect yourself, preventing reatomization. The Infernals will keep respawning on Resurrect endlessly. You can return to the planet to earn money, or leave the planet to complete this mission. For this, use your exosuit's firmware menu.
Oh, let's just freaking end it already. And I barely got any materials. I got 4 of these, 0 of these. Great. And I have so many of these. Developers, a recommendation here. Allow one to upgrade from one material to the next one or something like that, because this is ridiculous with how little you get per run sometimes. And I get that some maybe are left behind by Infernals or something, but still, this is ridiculous. Because I could get nothing most of the time. It is too much grinding in this game. I get maybe you want someone to play a game a whole lot and make it worth the while to, you know, upgrade and play for a long time, but personally I'd rather just replay from the beginning of the game. Do it, start over, new game, and just upgrade, work my way up again. If that's the kind of grind I want. I want the grind to feel nice. Like I'm actually getting something out of doing a run. I get almost nothing. And if I am to have it like this, I should be able to upgrade from 1 level to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 or something like that. Like, in the order you get them. So this one is down here instead, and I can upgrade this part here up to this level or something like that. Like, de-atomize them or something and then re-atomize them into a new material, something like that. Or sacrifice materials to harden it up to another material. Even if it's like a drop-off of like I lose 5 materials to get a new upgraded material, I'm fine with that. Personally. But just, what am I doing with all of this? I can't use it for crap. But anyway, I think this is gonna be it. Let's see, he said something about the exosuits. I don't know what. Is it over here he talked about, or what? Somewhere over here I can finish it. I don't remember what he said. That's not my height, but okay. You said British or not? Oh, it's changed up a little bit. Okay, I'm not 154. For some reason, I'm becoming higher. What is this supposed to indicate? Oh, there's one here as well. What the heck? Why is the music getting so loud? What time is it? Almost 6. That should mean my streamer should be on before long. It's like, did I upgrade my fire? But I don't know. Didn't quite catch what I talked about that I could end my mission. Shouldn't be able to help. You can tell the ship to go somewhere. Even the map. So I'm guessing it's up here in the last one, maybe. You can tell too. And well, either way, I don't really know what it's. I can try and end here and then leave the game, then re-enter and record, and if I find out how to end the game, I will upload it to YouTube. But yeah, I'm gonna give my thoughts so far. Let me sit down real quick. Probably require me to do this so you can see me properly while I sit down and talk about the game. So, my thoughts on the game. It has... The music still sounds so loud, I don't know why. The game has a lot of potential. I will 100% say that. It is very promising and it is good on some aspects, but there are also a lot of things, I have to say, I think personally are negative as well. On one hand, there are quite a lot of bugs. I have seen a lot of frame drops. I have tried where I did a run. I don't know if it's because I had to go eat and then my PlayStation went into sleep mode. Or hibernation, whatever you want to call it. And then came back in and it was just a mess. It was a giant mess. Like, it was like I was constantly in slow motion, and then when it finally went slow motion, inside of that slow motion, it was freaking horrendous. And it was, frame rates were terrible, stuff like that, but that might be a bug, it's not the game itself, or depending on for how long you play, maybe it deteriorates a little bit and then becomes a buggy mess. It had crashed a couple of times because I went into the mission logs, which is hella problematic. And annoying, and also had quite a amount of troubles with, for example, the chain blade I have, or chain, I guess. The idea is awesome, but I would very much prefer that either it's, where you shoot the chain, it automatically pulls you in, so that you have immediate chance of control, and if you aim it at an enemy, like for example one of those grave hoppers, whatever they call those bugs, it will automatically pull you directly into the bug, instead of a couple times I've tried where it slings me past it, and then I'm just flying through the air, most likely going into some sort of like environmental hazard or something like that, like fire or gas or something, or ice. Or they could have done a thing where there's an actual jump button, because many times there are some small bumps, ridges where you want to walk over, for example inside of the workshops, or where you can spend your M coins. I feel stuck so many times there, and I wish there was just a jump button. Like, it could be like, first when you press the chain button, then it would lead into a jump, then afterwards you could press again to release a chain, so you could pull yourself into a further distance. So like, first press a jump, and then second press, the chain comes out, and you can pull yourself in the direction you want. So like, it just goes upwards. First time you press the button, and then second time you press, you can swing yourself to the side. Because the maneuverability of a jump is very essential. Proper control is very important in this game. And the chain sometimes is not that. And sometimes you also try to jump upwards, but then the chain can't hit whatever is on top of you, because either you're hitting one of the seal-less areas or whatever, ceiling-less areas. And there's just nothing happens when you press the button. In some way, I would also have preferred that, depending what weapons you've picked up, the game will also be a little more lenient on giving you the amplifiers that fit whatever you want. Or you narrow it down a little bit more on the weapons it works for. For example, like, more weapons are... How would I best set this? Like, maybe less weapon-specific things. Like either you go full on the SMGs, the shotguns, the pistols, grenade launcher, and stuff like that, or you go more specific, where it is earth weapons, it is the ancient weapons, these two specifically, and afterwards it's an all-you-can-eat buffet. Like all of the other buffs just works for whatever gun there is. Of the, like for example, the whole thing you have of like the bonus of being in the air. You deal more damage to enemies. While you're on the ground, you deal more damage to the ground enemies. Or just do it more like, just, yeah, when you're on the ground, you deal more damage. When you're in the air, you deal more damage. Or you just make a thing instead, like for example, instead of doing SMGs and doing for handguns, shotguns, and whatever, it gives an upgrade instead to automatic weapons. So like SMGs, plasma SMGs, assault rifles, machine guns in this case. What else do we have? SMGs, the Hunter? No, that's the shotgun. Right, the Fluster, the machine gun, a Bastion, the Arsonist. They get an upgrade for automatic weapons. And then there's the single shot weapons, the semi-automatic, whatever you call it, the Vandal, the Shotgun, the Strider. These get an upgrade for single shots. So they're categorized not by the individual weapons, but by the weapon style, the firing mode there is attached to it. So the Striders, Vandals, and Punchers get the same upgrade, because that would make a lot of sense. So they become more of a hard hitter because they don't need higher fire rate. It's depending on how fast you can shoot, pretty much, or pull the trigger in that instant. And I don't know, with the overthrower, it is supposed to be like you can choose between just pressing the button, tapping the button, and it just shoots a small shot, or you charge it up and it becomes a big shot. But usually I just find myself just using the small shot because I have to move around a lot. This game is based on a lot of movement. You don't have time to just stand around and just shoot. Plus you can't find aim with this thing. So it kind of defeats the purpose of trying to use this as a sniper rifle. I also still don't know what the fourth one is. Haven't seen that weapon. Ancient SMGs. Yeah, that was the plasma gun. And also, so instead of like, as I talked about the arsonist, gun-specific upgrades, that would also be less punishing for like, oh damn, I got a bad upgrade that doesn't work for the gun I want because I'm going for a arsonist. So now you have these 5 other weapons you keep getting upgrades for, which can really ruin your gameplay a lot. Where, if you got it for like the whole fully automatic weapons, that would help a whole lot more with being a little bit more flexible and making it a little bit more fun on getting the actual upgrades you need. So you might have like an arsonist you start on with, where there's some upgrades for that, but then all of a sudden you start getting some flusters and bastions, so you don't get punished for building up specifically for arsonists. So now you can switch over to bastions and flusters that still get the upgrade for automatic weapons. So you can become a little bit more flexible. Or, for example, you've done a run completely on arsonist, and then all of a sudden you get near the end and you only get upgrades for the fluster, the bastion, like the rarity drops and stuff like that, legendaries, and you really need an upgrade, but you can't get it because you don't get the arsonist because you have upgrades only for that one specifically. Like, make it a little bit more flexible, or do something over here in the station early on, like once per level here, that increases your chances of, maybe you can do some re-rolls for free from reward chests and stuff like that, to increase your chances of getting what you need. There's of course also the upgrade of, where is the loot rarity? That helps a lot, of course. But yeah, there are a lot of times where it feels like the game really is against you, and it also, a lot of the other weapons feel like they don't do as much as a punch. Like the Fluster, I went at the last battle with the last boss, and also against elites and stuff like that. I barely do any damage against them with a Fluster, even with the upgrades that hang out with it. But then again, sometimes I'm really unlucky and I don't get the upgrades I need, so I barely do anything against them. I can't call out elites and stuff like that, so I can't really prove my point. I guess I could try. Well, here they die very easily. I don't know why, because I did not do that on my last run. I guess it's because they're standard units here, so they're like level 1s, and those you fight at instead of the runs and such are maybe like level 7 or level 8 out of 10. I can try and run down a little bit further, see if that makes a difference. Okay, they still die very easily. So I guess, as I said, because they're test dummies or something like that, so they may be not as roughed up as those instead of the actual runs. But you can just look at my previous game for proof of the fact that the SMGs barely did anything to enemies. But yeah, it will make things a little bit more smooth and flexible for you on that aspect. And also, materials, as I mentioned earlier, I have very big issues with the materials here, because you barely get anything on the individual runs. So it feels like you have to grind like 30 times to be able to get a couple of upgrades here and there, which is a giant nuisance. I would much rather that I can, and also I have a giant amount of low-level materials that I can't use for crap. So it would be nice if I could dematerialize them and rematerialize them for something else instead. So I can get rid of these high amounts of trash I have. Also, it took me quite a while to understand the fact that when you fight against the beetle boss, of course, you need upgrades and such, but also you need to focus more on just shooting the target. Like, those things that splurt out vines and thorn vines, you're not really supposed to destroy those. They are just there to make things a little bit more complicated for you, and that's about it. You just need to ignore them, shoot some fire on them to get your armor up, or keep it up, and just focus on the enemy, and just swing around on the small platforms where you can't hit. Where, that's also one of the things that annoyed me with the whole chain thing, because I can be aiming to, what's it called, pull myself over to one of the small narrow platforms that's up against one of the pillars, where I want to try and do a pull over, but it's so unstable on how you land on this. Even if you try to control it with the joystick, or the stick itself, it really becomes problematic. Where, as I mentioned, the whole thing with if you get transported over directly, like it kind of locked you in to the location you want to go, you can more accurately land upon the platform if you just focus on the wall that's on top of it, or pillar it's leaned up against. So you can have a safe spot you can land on and just keep blasting the enemy. It would also be nice if there had been, like against Shorgrun, I can never remember his name, Shorgor, whatever. There had been a little bit more explanation, and also he is extremely bullet sponge. I don't know if it's just a mistake, the fact that he's so weak against fire, or what it is, because it just feels like there's something about the bosses that needs to be done. Because damaging only the boss only by shooting in the mouth is way too much, especially when he barely does it. Like he does it every 1 or 2 minutes or something like that. It becomes very dragging. And I don't know if that's what they were aiming for, but it's the boss needs a little bit more work, or that you're gonna have Raven or Grace do an analysis on the enemies so you can have an idea on what you're aiming for. Because it's only by sheer luck I found out the whole thing. I can shoot fire upon the final boss and he just freaking dies. It's like... But yeah, the game has potential. It could be really good. Oh yeah, also, this is pretty much useless. It is so problematic to hit the enemies properly with this. The whole thing of you trying to cut the enemy, and sometimes it just doesn't really work. See if I can go closer to them. Hello. I should have been able to lock him down on the first strike there. It's also hard to get it right when the enemies move around like they do here. And see, this is one of the things I'm talking about. Sometimes the blade just gets stuck. And you just don't do anything. You have to move the hand around to be able to finally get the saw to absolutely limp the enemies. If you were to do something like this, I would recommend that instead of the blades being the ultimate, you use a blade to like stab enemies or cut off heads and stuff like that, and then you can have like 2 of these saw blades on each hand for the ultimate, where you just it helps you with the blade saw blades, ripper blades, whatever you want to call them, are the ones that completely dashes you towards enemies and just destroy them. Because this, where you have to like saw them off, is too problematic. Or make it a thing where you get close to an enemy, you press a button, and then it automatically locks you in easily so you can cut them open, off, and stuff like that. Because in this aspect, when you want to go around fast, quick, and destroy enemies, this doesn't work very well when it's very specific on hitting enemies. I'll also say some of these missions that are in this game are also very buggy. Like, either they're not done correctly or they're not specific enough about what you need to do. Because I have done no, it's the flea circus, the one where I have to trip over a gravedigger like multiple times. I think it was the same one 3 times. I have done that multiple times. It does not register. I have done the thing where the tornado it talks about, where I have to take down 4 enemies with 1 gust attack. I have done that, but it did not register that. And I know for a fact There were 4 that were blinking. I had to charge up. I shot it, and nothing happened. I did not get the achievement. Or challenge, or whatever you want to call it. Unless it means that you're supposed to do it 4 enemies 4 times or something like that. That would make much more sense. But also, tin opener. Of what I remember, that is the one where you have to execute 10 of the grave hoppers. Armored grave hoppers. This one. I know for certainty I have done this multiple times. I even did it once where I pulled in, executed the enemy, and it did not show it on my mission, milestone bar, progress bar, that I had done it. Like, it did not register at all. So, some work needs to be done on this. So, you have something cooking here, but it needs some way more work. It needs to be way more playtesting and stuff like that, and smoothened out, because a game like this, we have to move around a lot. It needs to be smooth, like as if everything has been greased up. It needs to go fast. You cannot just stop up and all of a sudden want to try and cut an enemy and you're just stuck. You need to move your hand around to be able to slice and dice the enemies open. It would be so much more smoother if it had been just, you know, just a blade. With that. And also there, as I mentioned at one point where I played the game, I got stuck, collisioned into something. I tried everything to try and move out, nothing worked. I had that Skull Crusher feat that allowed me 1 HP per enemy I defeated. I had like 314 or 25 or something in HP. I got stuck somewhere, I had to close down the game and then reopen it and continue the run on defeating the final boss. But I had lost all of my max HP. I was back down to like 124 or 150. So I had lost all of that I had gathered during the run. Which is super frustrating. At the same time, also, I barely got anything out of that run. So, yeah. This is definitely not a game I will recommend people unless they're not that hung up on stuff like that, and I will also give them the recommendations of stuff. Weapons need maybe potentially a bit more balancing. Also, early on would be nice with the upgrade for a bigger magazine for the handguns, the Striders. But I suppose that you're supposed to go through here, upgrade stuff, and then you have a higher chance to get whatever you need for the runs. But it's just, it's very tedious. Very early on. Especially with all of these upgrades where you can barely get the high-level materials to get them. It's a drag, 100%. But yeah, I think that's all I'm gonna be ripping this game on for now, or complaining with criticism and such. It's just personally, if it becomes a lot more entertaining with the speed of taking down enemies and the balancing of the buffs and the weapons and such, I could easily give this game an 7.5 or an 8, but because also the voice acting, the story is pretty bad. The race, I either just the whole thing of, oh my god, later when you get me out we can just do stuff. It's like, and then other times, oh, do something, I'm gonna die. Like, it's so much, it's one extreme and then the other extreme. It's really ridiculous. Yeah, so but if you're just in it for the blood and the gore and destroying enemies, then sure, I guess this game could be for you. Especially if you like high difficulty spikes and stuff like that. then this game is definitely for you. If you like smashing your head against the wall, then this game is for you. Other than that, no. I will barely find anyone, I think, that I can recommend this game to. But as I said, it has potential. But yeah, I'm gonna be calling it here. See if my streamer's on now. They most likely should be. They're not. At least not what the notifications tell me. Yeah, they're not on. Did they decide to take another day off? Because they're doing a big thing on the 1st of April. Yep, they haven't given any information out yet. So I guess I'll just have to call it here. So, for, let me see, Wednesday, I will finally be having some vacation again, but proper vacation this time, like holidays and stuff like that. Easter coming up, I'll be having like 5 days off, I think. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, of course. Monday is also a day off. So I should have a lot more time being able to stream, but I have some things with some colleagues and also some friends, so Thursday and Saturday I will most likely not be able to stream. Depends on for how long we do the things. It's just when we meet at noon, and then we just hang out and eat a little bit together, so maybe I'll be back on around 3 p.m. or something like that, and then I'll be able to stream a little bit, or 4 p.m. Who knows? But it also depends on how much of the different gatherings, events, whatever you want to call it, get-togethers, where they're planned on how long we will be staying together. But I bet it's like 2-3 hours per. For them, so I'll just have to see about that. I will try and notify it a little bit ahead of time to ensure letting you know when I'll be able to stream, or if I won't be able to stream. So yeah, I'm gonna be calling it here. So thanks for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube and you like the VOD, please feel free to give a like, subscribe, and hit the bell so notifications for when I upload videos. If you're watching this on Twitch and you like the VOD, please feel free to do a follow so you can get notifications for when I live stream. I will usually live stream on Wednesdays around 4 or 5 p.m. CT. That's make around 9 or 10 a.m. CST. Weekends can be a little bit on and off. So I will usually try and live stream around 1 or 2 p.m. CT. That's make around 6 or 7 a.m. CST. Some days are going to be on schedule, but I will try and notify at least 30 minutes before on Blue Sky. So thanks for watching. Take care, and see you next video on live stream. Bye.